A wonderful good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you, depending on what time you are watching this video. As always, my name is Peter Wedam, and I am a lead presenter at Wedambu TV. Now, this week, specifically Thursday, 23rd July 2026, Wedambu TV was invited to cover a women's empowerment dialogue that was happening in Paga in the Katsina-Nankana West District of the Upper East region. Now, the program was organized by Transparency International Ghana under the title Mobilizing Marginalized Groups, including women, to challenge corruption in their communities. And this training fell in tandem with Ghana's National Anti-Corruption Action Plan, NACAP. And here is an interview we had with the Executive Director of Transparency International Ghana on the sidelines of the training, Mrs. Mary Awelana Addah. And this is what she had to share with us. Take a look. So, Executive Director, kindly brief me the rationale behind this engagement and why particularly women are the participants you invited.
Thank you very much. So, TI Ghana, in collaboration with the Transparency International and also with other chapters in Africa, TI Canada and also TI UK on the health project, is implementing what we call the inclusive service delivery in Africa, and its purpose is to target the health and education sector, paying attention to the issues around discrimination when it comes to women, girls, and other groups at risk of discrimination. And we are paying attention to this because we say corruption is the abuse of entrusted power. Again, we say that corruption disproportionately affects the disadvantaged and the poorer amongst us. So Transparency International thought it important to identify the corruption risk areas when it comes to the health and education sectors, and then identify these selected group of persons to build capacity so that they will become empowered to speak out against the discriminatory practices in their communities which have a link to corruption, but then to also denounce them and reject them and be able to locate spaces where they can report these for remediation or to seek correction. And so when they go to the schools to secure services, they should be able to do that without fear of oppression, to do that without any fear of discrimination. When they go to the hospitals, they should be able to do that without any fear whatsoever. So that is the purpose. And how much more or how better than to engage them, because we know that in our spaces, particularly in this part of the world, when we bring men and women together, it becomes very difficult for the woman to have a voice. And today we have spoken to some of the critical areas of discrimination. So we believe that bringing just women together would help us to identify the nexus between corruption and discrimination. Then we put in place remedial actions to work with our groups in the Katsina-Nankana West. We have a social auditing club that would then activate some of these processes going forward. We have been doing this across some 8 different districts cutting across the country, and these were selected based on the levels of one, poverty markers, 2, the issues around audits and the recommendations that have come up, and then 3, also the issues of culture and discrimination which have been accepted over time, but then also the corruption risk assessments that we put in place or we conducted earlier back during the implementation of the project.
You mentioned your partners that help in the implementation of your activities, but can you brief me locally who are the institutions that partner you when you go down to the district level, that is to host such meetings or engagements with the women?
Great. So because TI Ghana is not present everywhere across the country, we work with the National Commission on Civic Education to facilitate the formation of groups which we call the social auditing clubs, and these groups then become the face of TI in the district. So in the Katsina-Nankana West District, we are working with the National Commission on Civic Education, which holds or binds the Social Auditing Club together. The role of the Social Auditing Club, as it is said, audit, is to audit the implementation of services that are delivered across the district. But then what they do is to monitor the implementation of service delivery across the district, is to also monitor the implementation of contracts and whatever. So they draw their plans, they make their priorities very clear, and then they implement them and report. We also work with the media, including your good self, who has been very instructive with us, and the municipal assembly. If you remember the last time we engaged the MCE, who is also very willing to support us in the work we do on a daily basis, because promoting transparency and accountability is the core thing we want to see, but then also helping to reduce corruption is critical in our districts, because we want the poor to be removed from that bracket, and we can only do that if they have a voice to speak up, get empowered to demand the accountability they need.
Thank you.
If our legal framework which I'm talking about, the laws and the institutions that are supposed to fight corruption, if they are weak, it doesn't brings corruption. So for instance, we are talking about our officers, our police, and what have you. If they are not well trained, they are supposed to ensure that the law works, and they are helping to break the law. So these are those weak legal framework, the weak institutions. And so that also causes corruption. Now, more public awareness, and we came here, what our madam was saying, she never really understood that, oh, maybe that's another form of corruption. The policeman has asked for 3 cities, but the motorcare is registered. Once you don't understand that it's corruption, it will continue to happen. The police officer also sees it as normal, because every time when you stop the motorcare, or you know that they will pay, they will not demand accountability, they will not ask for receipt. And then the counter will back will continue. So the institutions that I just mentioned, we have parliament, is a bigger institution, we have the audit service and what have you. They are supposed to what? Ensure that there is oversight about those that are giving them mandate to spend. And so if they don't do their work well, then it will bring about corruption. Economic pressures. The system is hard. There's no money. But you have to also feed your children. You have to pay school fees. And so sometimes some of these pressures will push people into doing something that ordinarily they will know what to do. Then a big man will bring the world who is not qualified for a particular maybe registration exams or admission. And he comes and put an envelope, 10,000 Take it and I let my daughter or my son. You look at the money, you say this money, that is my 2.5 months salary. And I'm just getting it today. Some of our cultural norms and patronage also brings corruption. In some places they say you don't visit the chief police empty-handed. And they call it cola. It's tradition. But sometimes, depending on the intention behind it, it is a rule to create one or to bring corruption. As the People's Act is very important, and the People's Act empowers citizens to report people who have been engaged in acts of what? Corruption or misappropriation of public funds to institutions that are supposed to work and that are mandated. And that act also what? More or less like after empowering the citizens, they are supposed to also what? Protect them whenever they become what? Victims, or if they are being victimized.